This is Hockenheim, and this is the second time I have raced this track. This was honestly the first track that I ever raced in iRacing at, and here we sit. This is my second race of this season here, and I want to point out a couple things really quick. My first race was an unmitigated disaster. Uh, Basically, right after the first turn, an accident in front of me, a car, as I was swinging around it, rolled back into me, damaging the vehicle enough that I spent 6 minutes in the pits. I lost a ton of I rating and I lost a ton of safety rating. My objective is really to get safety rating here, but also to prove to myself that I've gotten faster. As I said, Hockenheim is a track that I drove before. I had set laps of about 145 was my fastest lap last time I was here. Um, I, in practicing, was setting 144s, so a little bit faster, but I seemed to be hitting a wall when I reached out to my coach, Bernardo Faria, and said, hey, let me take a look at your track guide. You can purchase a video of him driving the track and then walking you through each turn and what his thoughts are there on how to handle each turn. So I bought that, watched it a couple times, kind of practiced just a couple corners, and then started setting laps. And honestly, I'm a visual learner. I watched my laps where I was struggling to get below 144 and couldn't do it. Suddenly I set a 143, a 142, and then a 140 in just 3 laps. It was a high 140s, it was like 140.9, but I was absolutely impressed with how fast I was able to get the car during just those practice laps. And so I've driven probably 30 laps prior to my first race and another 5 or 6 prior to this race just in practice. Um, but yeah, I feel like I've gotten faster. And so I set a 141.2 in my qualifying lap, putting me in 6th place for the start of the race. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm feeling like, okay, we've got a good start. Let's see how things go. I get a pretty good launch off the clutch here. I move to the inside of the track because I recognize, people are going to cut across. I brake and get tagged from behind. As a result, drivers behind me get slowed down. I may have braked a little early, but it is what it is. I was trying to avoid getting cut across at that point. Uh, and yeah, so here we are. I am part of the top 6 going into this corner. And you can see that the top 6 are starting to already pull away from the group behind us. First lap, tires are cold, so everything, you handle everything a little cautiously. I've now taken a 4X accident because I got hit there in the rear, and yeah, I'm not happy about that. Again, I was focused on my safety rating. That's going to cause me to lose a few points. Unless I can just keep it at that. I might gain just a little bit, but I wanted to gain quite a bit more. So focusing on hitting my marks in the first uh, first set here. I'm taking things just a little conservative. I know the car can slide quite a bit with the cold tires, but by the end of this lap, tires pretty much warm up. In front of me, you see Paul McCoy. In front of him, Ricky Peck, and they're going to be there for a bit. There is a driver, Corey Darby, about 2.5 seconds behind me, and I take issue with a few things that Corey did here. He's an incredibly fast driver, makes some really good passes, but also makes some pretty poor sportsmanship passes in this. You see this driver right here, Layla, has just gone off, catapulting me into 5th place. Corey is now pulled up to 1.9 seconds behind me, and yeah, the race continues. I'm in 5th place thinking, well, I can keep this pace up. I feel pretty good about this. Even if Corey behind me, who I see is slowly creeping up to me, catches me. Okay, he passes me. I'm back in sixth spot. Six is not a bad place to be. I just want to avoid getting any more incident points at this point. So, nothing's really going to happen the rest of this lap. Let's scoot forward one lap. Here we are going into lap 3. You can see that Corey is about a second and a half behind me. I am less than a second to Paul in front of me. Second turn is a bit of a, not quite a hairpin, but almost. And here we go down the long straightaway to the hairpin turn. This hairpin turn is where you lose a lot of time if you don't handle it correctly. And you've got to hit your brakes just before ABS kicks in. You need to hit them just right. And that's something I'm practicing, and I'm practicing every lap here. But you see behind me, Corey gain on me a little bit, but I gain on these guys in front of me as well. And I'm feeling pretty good about being able to keep up with this lead pack. Now at this moment, the person in second place, Ricky, I think is actually the person in first place. You can see the person in first place way off in the distance there. He is flying and really gaining on all of us. So congrats to him, Joshua, who's just phenomenally fast. But what's interesting is Corey behind me has the fastest lap of the track so far at a 140.4. Which is honestly faster than I've ever driven this track. So probably going to catch up to me at some point. I'm actually thinking about radioing him and saying, hey, when you catch up to me, I'm going to give you plenty of room. But the fact is, I'm keeping up with the folks in front of me. So maybe make him work for it a little bit and see how the race plays out. Entering lap 4. Corey has definitely closed the gap. He's 0.7 seconds behind me at this moment. But I am also 0.6, 0.7 to the driver in front of me, Paul. As I'm watching this, one of the things I'm watching is the line that they are each taking so that I can see if I can learn anything from that. I brake at about the 150 meter mark here, as does everybody. And this is where I get frustrated. Boom. Right there. Corey hits me from behind, causing me to go wide, and causing me another 4x penalty on me at this moment. So I'm really unhappy about that. I'm going to just let him pass. If he's going to be a jerk of a driver like that, and I genuinely think that was intentional. I do not think that was accidental on his part. And you'll see why I think that in just a minute. And the problem is, this guy's fast. He could make a clean pass. He didn't need to do that. I was fine where I was. I was braking just fine. Whatever. Some drivers are going to be like that. You get 1,000 people together, you're going to have some jerks. So anyway, I'm now intent on keeping up with Corey and ensuring that he doesn't pull too far ahead of me, because I definitely don't want to lose out on 6th place. Now, I should mention 7th place is about 7 seconds behind us at this moment. So we are all setting kind of a decent pace, at least half a second faster than the driver behind me.
You're mentally handicapped.
And somebody behind us has an incident and is complaining about other drivers. And,
Not
that's just the case here. I should have turned off the voice chat. So here's the group going into the hairpin again. We're all sticking with it. If you hit this hairpin wrong, you lose a lot of time. And that's going to make a difference later on. So I'm going to scoot forward another lap, moving us into lap 6. You can see the group ahead of me has pulled quite a bit ahead of me, actually. I am now 2 seconds behind Corey, but I'm not out of this yet. This is where I feel like Corey was a bit of a dirty driver here. I want to assume positive intent on his case, but after the way he nailed me, I almost radioed Paul and said, you better watch it. This guy likes to use another driver as a brake. And here we go. Goes for the inside. I am certain he intentionally just planted himself there and said, I'm going to hit this guy and take back this position. Okay, it's done. I wasn't too impressed with that. The problem is, like I said, this guy's a fantastic driver. I mean, was that maybe Paul's fault a little bit? It could have been. But I don't think so. I think Corey used him as just a way to force his way through that turn. But here's the thing, like, you're about to see him make some fantastic passes. I mean, genuinely, he's a talented driver. He doesn't need to do that. He goes way wide there, though, but gets a good run down the straightaway as a result. Probably takes it off track. This is 2 through 6 you're watching. He's right on Ricky, kind of peeks to the inside just to give him a little bit of nerve damage. That's a great turn he handled right there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe none of that was intentional, but it sure felt like it in the moment. And watching this replay, it sure looks like it. So, you know, hey, let me just force my way up to the front doing this. This is, you can see they go wide right there. Corey's trying to get the run done on Ricky, and he's able to make incredible pass. Like, this is really good pass. Super impressed. I would have loved to have been able to pull off a pass like that. We're in lap 7 of 15. I'm still in 6th position. You see me in the back. And while it looks like they're pulling away from me, and they are a little bit, I know that there's still some fighting going on up here, which is going to slow them down and allow me to kind of reassess and reattack. Great exit out of this turn by Corey. You can see the leader way up there in front. Corey goes to the inside. A good pass. I think 6 just lets him through at that point. Nicholas just let him through. Probably safer, to be honest with you, considering what he had done previously. I think Nicholas is trying to keep with him, see if he can offer him some pressure. And he can, but he backs out of this. I really thought he was going to go for that right there. All right. This is going to progress for a couple laps, so I'm going to skip forward a couple laps. And I'm going to switch back to myself. That's an on track, by the way. I've not gone off track there. You have to go completely off the blue and white there to go off track. This is really a fun track to drive, though. I really do enjoy it. It's the first track I memorized, not using any assistance. It was not a track I ever got coaching on before this. I think maybe towards the end I watched a video about it. That was when I kind of learned about coaching. I got to get faster at that hairpin. I lose a lot of time there. You can see these two up in front of me, kind of battling it out. I want to get myself up into a position where if they have an accident, I'm ready to take advantage of it. I'm currently in 6th position. Paul is in front of me, Ricky's in front of him, Nicholas in front of him, and then Corey opening up the gap there, setting the fastest lap on the track at a 1:39.5. But he is 6.5 seconds behind Joshua, and this is lap 9 of 15. Okay, right there you see that Corey has gone off the track and hit the wall, actually. Um, and so now he's kind of back trying to recreate everything he just did. He's going to do actually a pretty amazing maneuver here coming up. So let's focus on him just for a minute. He is a really fast driver. Like, I don't know. Maybe the accidents were just that accidents, but let's assume they were. I like to think the best of people. And I like watching somebody with a lot of skill, and you're going to see a really fantastic maneuver coming up here. You got a glimpse of the leader there. He's already made this turn and is well on his way. Corey goes to the inside, takes back that position from Paul. Great move. God, it's impressive. I like watching it. He's already attacking these two. Goes to the inside here. This is just a fantastic move as well. Forces his way back up. Goes to the inside here. And just weaves his way through all three of them. I mean, what a move. Honestly, hats off to you, Corey. Even if I felt you were maybe a little aggressive on me back there, that was some fantastic driving. Just absolutely fantastic. These three in front of me are having issues. You can see them sliding around on the road. This allows me to catch right up to this group, and I'm hoping to get a pass done or see an accident happen. So maybe, maybe put me back in contention. Currently 0.3 of a second behind Paul here in the Spaceballs livery on his car. I like the we brake for nobody. Call back to the movie. We're on lap 11. 5 laps to go, including this one. And I'm feeling, okay about how things are. I'm still annoyed at Corey. Try not to let that get into me. I have the chance to make a pass here, and I'm just unable to do that undercut. I have got to figure out how to drive cleanly, but more like Corey just did back there, because I was really impressed with the maneuvers he pulled off. My favorite parts of the track right here. If you get that wrong, you're going to spin up into the dirt. You can see I am right with this crew, trying to just find a gap safely, I might add. I am not willing to risk any more of my safety rating at this point if I can help it. So we're entering lap 12. There's 4 laps to go. My fastest lap on this race has been a 140.6. This is the fastest lap I've ever driven on this track. So even if nothing else, at least I'm increasing my time. My confidence is also very high on this course. Like, I'm not making mistakes that are sending me off track. I do make one, but I mean, not significant. I'm very confident in my braking lines and where I need to brake. I need to speed it up a little bit, obviously, because these guys are able to pull away from me just a bit. You see this accident occur right here. He gets knocked to the right, so now it's a drag race between myself and Ricky. I'm able to take that position from Ricky. I'm now in 5th spot. Just because I had set myself to be ready for an accident to happen. I'm thinking these two in front of me are also battling pretty hard. We may have an accident here. You see there's a little bit of contact right there. If they have an accident, I may be able to capitalize on that, put myself in good position. I'm going to fast forward just a little bit so you can see where there is a change, because things stay like this as we finish this lap going into lap 13. And here's where things kind of go bad. Not horribly bad, but bad. I'm still right on these two, kind of waiting to see if there's an accident occur. I can't seem to quite catch up to them. And I just want to keep Ricky behind me, who's half a second behind me. Nicholas is kind of pushing on Paul there. I'm surprised he doesn't go for the overtake here. And I get hit from behind into into Nicholas. And by that point, I am now back in 6th position. And to make matters worse, the 12-second gap we had to the people behind us is now dropped to 7.5 seconds. And I get a message from my race engineer telling me I have damage to the rear of the car. And I'll tell you what, I can feel it. I can feel that the car is not turning to the right correctly, and something is wrong. And that on a track where there is a lot of right turns, this is going to be a problem for me. Additionally, I've collected 4 more incident points as a result of that. So my safety rating's taken a hit, and right here, this happens because of the damage to the rear of the car. It is just not handling correctly. Fortunately, I'm able to get going again, but now the person behind me is at 2.5 seconds behind me as we enter the main straight. So I've given up a tremendous advantage, and I'm having to drive more cautiously at this point. The car is just not handling like it should. Am I going to be able to maintain at least 6th position at this point and salvage something out of this, because my safety rating's not going well. When you lose control of the car like I just did, even though there's damage to the rear of the car, I lose 2 more safety points. Or I take 2 more incident points, which is going to affect my safety rating. So my safety rating's taking a hit this race no matter what at this point. I know that for a fact. I've accumulated something like 11 or 12 safety incident points at this point, which is very frustrating to me, considering I came here really focused on just improving my safety rating. I have to take this. You can see how I swing wide there. The car just will not, it's not pivoting like it should on my turns. Like it should be pivoting more. To the left is fine, but every time I try to make a right turn, it just doesn't turn quite like it should. I can feel it in the steering. The steering shakes and the car loses grip. Again, another right turn. So now I'm being a little cautious. This is the penultimate lap, but behind me, Austin is within a second. He's at 0.8, 0.7 of a second at this moment. And I'm thinking, am I going to be able to hold this guy off? Don't spin out here where you spun out before. Just make it cleanly through. I take it a little easy. I get through that and head down the main straightaway for the last lap. Okay, Austin is 0.7 seconds behind me. I'm thinking, I've just got to hold this guy off for 1 lap. And honestly, at this point, I'm ready to go a bit defensive too, because I'm not going to just give him the position. I have my safety rating's taken a hit. I kind of, in a way, I could lose more safety rating, but I kind of have nothing to lose at this point. 5 more incident points would put me at a drive-through penalty. I don't think I'm going to accumulate that, but I do need to stay ahead of him. I'm almost a second ahead of Austin at this point, heading into the main straightaway. Braking is not working as smoothly as it should either. You can see my right turn here again swings a little wide. Car doesn't pivot like I need it to. Fortunately, Austin doesn't handle that turn any better than I do. I figure if I can get through this turn and into the series of turns after the next straightaway, so left is fine, right is fine. If I can maintain my lead through here without a mistake and make this next right turn, I feel I'm probably in pretty good shape to finish the race here. I take this a little more conservative than I normally would. Into the left hand. This is leading to where I spun out previously. This is where I spun out initially. If I can just make this turn cleanly, and I'm able to do it, and I'm able to hit the straightaway, and I'm able to finish the race in sixth place. But unfortunately, it's sixth place with a ton of incident points. Not what I wanted to have happen here. So I'm a little frustrated. So let's see what that did to my scores. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the results from my first race, which were abysmal. Here I started in, I think, 22nd. I finished in 22nd place. I started in 17th place, and that's because I was taken out in the first corner. I lost I lost an entire tenth of safety rating. I lost 64 I rating, not the result I wanted. But this race, a little bit better. I start in sixth, I finish in sixth. The results for me are I gained 29 I rating. Remember, I lost more than that in my last race, and I lose over 2/10 of a safety rating. I'm still in the threes, which is good. If I can end the season in the threes, I'll be promoted to an A-class license. But yeah, not the most thrilling race for me right there in terms of what I was setting out to achieve, which was additional safety rating. Now, that said, I did set a 140.66 as my best and fastest lap, according to this. So average lap time was 142, could have been a little bit faster, but those accidents slowed me down significantly. But overall, pretty happy with my progress. This is still the fastest lap I have driven on Hockenheim to date. So I'm still interested in driving more Hockenheim this week. I really love this track. I'm really hoping things get a bit smoother, and the results kind of will speak for themselves as we get to the end of this. This is honestly, I have this week and next week. Next week will be Adelaide in Australia, a track I've never driven. So that's the end of the season. So I need to maintain my safety rating at above 3 as I go through this. And then once I get that A-class license, I'll feel a sense of accomplishment. And I think in my next seasons where I'm really going to start focusing on raising my I rating, I want to set a goal of getting to 2,000. And then once I get there, we'll set a new goal. So that's where we stand so far. We'll see you in the next video.